Nightmare Ariel, and you're watching Mission Boxing Today on YouTube.
Heavyweight boxing fans, what's the deal? All right, so late last night. It was late last night. I wanted to do a video last night, but I was busy. Watching Deontay's Boxing Nation. Shouts out to Deontay. He was doing an interview with Bermane Stiverne. And Stiverne, he told Deontay what he's been saying for the last few months now, that he will be Wilder's next opponent. Us fans, we need to hold on about these unification fights. And he also went on to say that Deontay Wilder and his team did indeed, in fact, offer him step-aside money. Deontay went on to ask him, do you know which for which fight? And he said for one of these unifications. And I'm thinking, he didn't say this, but I'm thinking, just using logic and common sense, that he was talking about Joseph Parker. And the reason I say that is because Anthony Joshua, who has 2 of the titles, he has a rematch. Something in his contract where there's a rematch clause that he may have to fight Klitschko again. And he also has 2 mandatories that are due. The IBF with Pulev, the WBA with Ortiz. And Luis Ortiz also heard him say, same thing as Stiverne, he's not taking any step-aside money. So I think the best things for these title holders to do is take care of these mandatories. And the reason I say that, and shit, Hughie Fury, who pulled out of the fight that was scheduled for May 6th here a few days ago with Joseph Parker, the WBO still has him in place as the mandatory. I guess they just took that, him pulling out, as a for real, injury, I guess, if that's what you want to call it. Whatever. He got injured. Okay, cool. But, yeah, man. So I don't work, fans are going to say what they want to say. Some fans aren't going to believe this, right? I know there's going to be somebody that shows up to this video and say, nope, Stiverne's working with the WBC. They'll do anything to protect Wilder. Yeah, not Bermane Stiverne. He's not the guy that's going to go out on a limb to protect Deontay Wilder. Every time I hear this dude speak of Wilder, he almost seems like irritated and disgusted speaking about Wilder, speaking about that fight they had. I mean, Stiverne has went on record and said shit like, you guys remember that video I did a while ago where Stiverne came out and said that Chris Arreola punches harder than Deontay Wilder. I mean, he just does not like Deontay Wilder, man. He really wants his rematch. He feels as if that he had more to offer when they fought in January of 2015. Fair enough, he's the fucking fighter. I expect fighters to say things like that. But yeah, man, and again, man, it's going to take 2 to get in the ring. Wilder has been very adamant about wanting to get in unifications. You got some fans out there that always thinks the dude's lying. It's like, come on, man. I mean, to me, I can hear it in his voice. And when I visually see him doing interviews, he doesn't come across like a liar to me. If he's a liar to you, that's fine. I don't want to argue about if the guy's a liar or not. If that's what you think, that's cool. But to me, this further lets me know that he was trying to get unification fights from the guy who's his mandatory, Bermane Stiverne. Now, if it was up to me, you guys already know the fights that I want. I want unification, undisputed. I feel like I say that all the fucking time. But you know what? I'm going to continue to say it so nobody would ever get my words mixed up or misconstrued. That's what I want. You know what I mean? But what's going to happen is 2 totally different things. And I think it's a good thing that these dudes get their mandatories out the way, especially Wilder, because what do people always like to say? He hasn't even fought his mandatory. He's fought, was it 5 or 6 voluntary? Okay, let's put it into the voluntary defenses, get Stiverne out the way with. So that way you'll satisfy critics, but the critics are still going to have something to say. And then the intriguing thing about this fight, in my opinion, is can Wilder get the knockout? You know what I mean? Stiverne on this interview with Deontay, he doesn't think the right hand is even anything anymore. He was looking, when Deontay was asking about it, he was like, man, that right hand ain't got shit in it anymore, because he's had, 3 surgeries on his right hand. Now, this according to Stiverne. I'm not the one in there that's about to get hit with right hands, you know what I mean? So, according to Stiverne, he doesn't see much threat in that right hand. You know what I mean? So, and he's been working like a dog, man. Like, that dude has been the last few months, and I've been telling you guys, man, I know a lot of you think I make things up and pull things out of the air, but I was telling you guys, you don't even have to follow him on Instagram, but just go to his Instagram and just look at his post that he puts up there, his videos of him training every damn day. You know what I mean? Hashtag Wilder Stiverne 2. That's the caption under every video or picture that he posts on his Instagram. The dude's been training for the last 3-4 months, man. Like, this dude's serious. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man. Or at least the last couple months. You know what I mean? But I know he was in camp in December, obviously training for Povetkin, blah, blah, blah. Now, I'm not saying that I believe he earns a title shot. I'm just going by what the WBC decided to do. First, they said it was going to be Stiverne versus somebody, because Povetkin, you know, with the failed test, shit, even Stiverne failed the test. But anyways, the WBC decided that they would have Stiverne fight somebody else for that interim fight. You know what I mean? That never happened. Then they just came out of nowhere and came out with more news and said, oh, we're just going to give him Stiverne the mandatory. Okay, so he is the mandatory. That's what you guys want to see, right? Fight your mandatory, fight your mandatory. And sometimes I always say, hey, man, there are different circumstances for me to rush to want to see a mandatory. And Stiverne rematch isn't a mandatory that I'm rushing to see. But it doesn't matter what I think. That's what he needs to do. That's what he has to do. Take care of it. Get it out the way with so you can then go on to bigger and better things. All right, he still got to go in the ring and beat the guy. You know, Stiverne is training. The dude is I like Stiverne, man. I do like Stiverne. I just don't like the fact that the WBC just gave him the mandatory. But rather than that, I have no problem with Bermane Stiverne. He's getting his chance. He's going to get a second chance. The fight will happen. He's training. He looked like he's ready. Wilder, I even heard on an interview, I think it was Fight Hype, he did an interview with a few days ago where he said he's going to do real damage to Stiverne if they get in the ring again. You know, so, and Wilder said that he had zero interest in a rematch. Just like a week ago, he said this. So hopefully Wilder mind is in the right place leading up to this fight. And he's not going in there thinking, man, this is easy work. You know, I'm going there and kill this guy this time. I want him, now obviously he's going to be confident, but I hope he's not overlooking Stiverne, you know what I mean, to that degree. You know, but shit, maybe he does overlook him and it makes for even more intriguing fight on fight night. You know what I mean? But anyways, though, man, you know, we can't sit here and say that Wilder is lying about trying to make unification. He tried to get his guy some step aside money. The dude declined it. I'm not sure how much they offered him. He didn't really reveal that. I'm not sure how much they offered him. So I don't know if they're going to try to make him another offer, but he seems hell bent on not accepting any money. He wants to put hands on Wilder. And Wilder said they get in the ring, he's going to damn near kill the dude. So I guess we'll see, man. But Wilder did indeed try to make a unification fight. You know, he tried to get this dude some money. Stiverne declined it. So let's get this fight underway. Wilder versus Stiverne 2. Get it out the way with, you know. But you guys let me know what you think in the comment section about Wilder offering this dude some money and him turning it down. What do you think about Luis Ortiz just telling Joshua before money's even offered to him that he's not going to accept it? You guys let me know what you think about these mandatories stepping up, man, and wanting these fights and they don't want step aside. I really don't want Luis Ortiz to take any step aside money. And to tell you the truth, man, I don't want to see Stiverne take it either. Now that I really think about it, let's just get it out the way with. Get this mandatory done so we don't have any more of this mandatory nonsense. You have to fight your mandatory, all this shit, even if it's a mandatory that we don't want to see. Get it done so these dudes can move on and give us some unification. I know some of these sanctioning bodies, they make exceptions for unification, even if there's a mandatory involved. For special fights, usually a special fight's a unification fight. But then there's just sometimes where they're not trying to hear that special fight shit and they want you to fight your mandatory. So title holders, get your mandatories out the way. And I guess we might have to push towards 2018 for undisputed. But I think after these mandatories are done, if they come within the next few months here, I think we could probably see another big fight by the end of the year. Possibly, fingers crossed, I'm not sure. You know, if Parker was to go ahead and fight Fury, you know what I mean? What is it, May? Probably about August, probably. I'm not sure. And Wilder can fight Stiverne. I'm thinking maybe, July. I'm not sure, man, when they're going to have these dudes fight. Maybe we can get something by December. I'm not sure between Wilder and Parker. But you guys let me know what you think in the comment section. I'm out.